This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Ananda alert activated for 14-year-old Vanessa Jennings. An Ananda alert has been activated for 14-year-old Vanessa Jennings of Smith Avenue, Newland in St. Catherine, who has been missing since Saturday, March 19. She is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 160 centimeters or 5 feet 3 inches tall. Reports from the Portmore police are that Vanessa was last seen at home about 6 p.m. Her mode of dress at the time she went missing is unknown. All efforts to contact her have proven futile. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Vanessa Jennings is asked to contact the Portmore police at 876-989-8422, the police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Wanted men and persons of interest listed by Kingston Western Police. The Kingston Western Police have listed 2 men as wanted and several more as persons of interest in the gang conflict affecting sections of Denham town. The wanted men are a man known only as Kyle and a man known only as Rico. The following individuals are listed as persons of interest: Tafari Anderson, otherwise called Kirk; Amani Malcolm, otherwise called Bling Dog or Dante; Kirk Roberts, otherwise called Charter; Lancaster Cook, otherwise called Bomber T; Michael Cook Jr., alias Titiman, a man known only as Kemar, a man known only as Quinty, and a man known only as Marvin. Detectives believe that these persons may be of assistance to ongoing investigations. They are asked to report to the Denham Town Criminal Investigation Branch before noon on Monday, March 21. Meanwhile, anyone knowing their whereabouts is being asked to contact the Denham Town CIB at 876-922-6441, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Select a committee to deliberate on whether minors should be granted firearm permits for rifles and pistols. The question of whether minors should be given firearm permits for certain categories of weapons is to be ironed out before the Joint Select Committee of the Parliament that is examining the new Firearms Act. National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang, who is chairing the parliamentary committee, says the Jamaica Rifle Association will be asked to appear before the committee for a fulsome and informed discussion on its recommendations that minors as young as 12 years old be granted firearm permits for rifles and pistols. Chang said an appearance by the JRA is necessary because his previous statement on the matter appeared to have been misrepresented in the public domain. A comment was extracted from my discourse in Parliament on Thursday, March 10, 2022, that went into circulation and has generated much discussion. Many did not hear or note the entire discourse, said Chang, who laid out what he said are the facts of the matter. He pointed to the draft legislation in the new Firearms Act, which proposes that a grant of firearm user permits to juniors should not be awarded to anyone younger than age 16. Chang, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister, noted that the JRA in its response suggested that the policy should allow permits for the following: air guns age 12, shotguns 20 gauge age 12, shotguns 12 gauge age 14, 22 LR rifles age 14, and pistols and rifles age 14. The Security Minister said he had indicated without ambiguity that he had concerns about granting permits to minors for the use of rifles and pistols. I further stated that should they be reintroduced, then it should be done through the Jamaica Combined Cadet Corps. At no time did I suggest any objection to A, B, or C above. The country should be reminded that rifle clubs were part of many schools up to the mid-70s. However, they were all closed due to a risk assessment carried out at the time as gun violence exploded in the country. There are no pistol and rifle clubs for juniors at this time. This is a new proposal, and a reintroduction must be carefully considered, said Chang. He also noted that shotguns in Jamaica are rarely used as weapons to commit crimes and are used more as sporting equipment. Body found in river in Greentown, suspected to be that of Junior Bennett. The belief is now rife that a body found in a river in the Greentown community of Trelawny could be that of Junior Bennett, otherwise called the Big Shot, the man wanted for the murder of farmer Garcia Williams. On Saturday, residents alerted police to a body that was found in the river. However, the police have yet to establish the identity, as the body was found to be in a high state of decomposition. Nonetheless, residents are of the belief that the body is that of Bennett, based on the built, clothing, and some other items found on and in the vicinity of the body. The police have indicated that they are currently waiting on information from the forensics lab to provide a confirmation if it is actually Bennett that was found. Bennett was listed as a most wanted individual by the Trelawny police following the brutal killing of Williams in what has been described as a lover's quarrel on January 31, 2022. He subsequently fled the scene and the police have been trying to locate him since. More officers to be deployed to monitor developments, says Holness. The number of officers who monitor and supervise developments will be increased to ensure the process is done in an orderly manner. This was disclosed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who further advised that various technological solutions will be employed to improve monitoring, inspection, and enforcement as it relates to developments. Holness, who was making his contribution to the 2022-2023 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Thursday, March 17, noted that while he is pro-development, it must be done in compliance with the correct procedures. I believe in orderly development, but there is a concerning level of disorder in development in Jamaica. If the transformation of our skyline business districts and the residential communities is to be sustainable and aesthetically pleasing, then it cannot be done in a disorderly way, he said. The Prime Minister noted that there needs to be greater clarity and a tightening of gaps in the legislation governing development, particularly the approval process. He said there also needs to be greater coordination and collaboration between the various agencies and arms of government. In relation to legislation, Holness pointed out that the Town and Country Planning Act, which was put in place in 1957, needs to be upgraded. I have told both the head of the National Environment and Planning Agency and the other stakeholders that the process of reviewing the Act should begin, and we need to do it quickly and move through the recommendations for its amendment quickly, he said. The Prime Minister said recommendations should take into consideration the need for greater consultation, which should be embedded in the Act. The concerns of the people who live in areas being developed ought to be taken in upfront in determining developments, he said. Justice Ministry to roll out a dispute resolution campaign. The Ministry of Justice will shortly undertake a public education campaign focusing on the use of alternative dispute resolution methods to settle disputes peacefully outside of the courts. Approximately $100 million is being provided through the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to fund the campaign, as well as other restorative justice activities. ADR programs offered through the ministry include restorative justice and meditation. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck said the ministry will be going into communities to inform people of these services and to share success of the program. Very likely before the end of the month, we will be launching a very vigorous and a strong campaign to take justice to the people. The idea behind it is that we are going to be encouraging communities, families, and institutions to use ADR to settle their disagreements, their disputes, and their conflicts, he said. The minister's comments came following the launch of the International University of the Caribbean Peace Institute and Extended Learning Center at the Spanish Court Hotel in Kingston recently. We want members of the community to feel that if they have a conflict, one or both can go to the justice centers and seek help, and we will find the professionals to assist them. I think this is important if we are going to secure and maintain peace across communities, Chuck said. He added that the public education campaign will seek to address various disputes and emphasize the effectiveness of ADR methods to provide redress and restore relationships. The ministry will be partnering with the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the execution of the activities surrounding the campaign. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.